Hello everybody and welcome back to my channel. If you're new around here, hello, welcome. My name is Charlotte. I've got my window open because once again, whenever I film here, it gets hot. You know, it's the summer. With today's video, I'm going to be bopping. I'm going to be having a good time, so I'm going to get super hot, more hot than usual. So I thought I'd just have my window open just so I'm not getting too hot. But in today's video, I'm so excited. I'm so excited. When I came up with this video idea, I was like, this is going to be the best video I've ever made. And I feel like I say that about a lot of my videos. But in this video, I'm going to be doing my favourite Eurovision songs as books. Obviously, I'm more excited about the Eurovision songs part than the books, no offence. If you don't know, I love Eurovision with my whole heart. It is just the greatest thing ever. If you don't even know what Eurovision is, I don't know what to say. But Eurovision is a song contest that's gone on for probably since the 50s or the 60s within European countries. The countries have an act and they get them to represent their country, and it's all about, you know, whatever country gets the most points and votes wins. It is just so much fun. And I just love how it's progressed across the years and across the decades, and how kind of central it has come to my life, and I just love it so much and it makes me so happy, and so many songs have come out of it that I absolutely did just like die for, and some of my favourite songs of all time. So I'm going to be sharing 8 songs with you that I just love so much, and I'm going to be sharing books I think represents those songs well. So with so much rambling already done, I'm just going to dive straight into Eurovision songs as books. I cannot wait. So the first 2 songs are technically like my favourite songs of Eurovision. It's always been a battle between which one of these 2 songs are like my favourite Eurovision song ever. And for a while it was one of them, and I think recently the other one has just gone, nope, that's it, that's my favourite one. Doesn't mean that the other one I don't like or is not as good. It's literally like my favourite one, and then the other one is literally like right under. So I'm just gonna jump straight into my favourite Eurovision song ever, and I love this song with my whole heart. So that is Heroes by Mans Zelmerlöw. I think that's how you pronounce his last name. And he won with that song in 2015 for Sweden. And I just want to say, Sweden are just like god tier when it comes to Eurovision. They always bring out amazing songs. I think since like 2012, 2015, they have just been like amazing with songs. They might not win, but they're just amazing. Obviously they won back in 1974 with obviously ABBA, but that song is Heroes, and I just love it so much. Whenever it comes on, it just makes me so happy. As obviously the title says, and with some of the lyrics, is about being heroes and about being the best what we can be, and being like, we are like amazing and that we are champions. It's got lyrics to do with heroes and gods, and it's also just such a feel-good song, and it makes me so happy, and I love Mans with my whole heart. I just wanted to say that I will probably be recommending books that I've recommended so many times on my channel. At this point, I feel like I just repeat myself, because the majority of the books I would want to recommend are just the same books because they're like my favourites. But anyway, for this one I'm going to go with Percy Jackson, because I think it's self-explanatory, the whole kind of gods and the whole heroes. Also the lyric thing goes, we're dancing with the demons in our mind. I feel like a lot of these kids, especially Percy Jackson, especially the demigods who are just finding out that they are demigods, they've got a lot of demons in their normal life, in their human life. And obviously once they enter this kind of demigod world and this Greek hero world, a lot of demons come along with that as well. And I just, also it's such a feel-good book, and it's such a feel-good series, and because this song is like my favourite for Eurovision, and it's just like god tier, and Mans is just like god tier. So is Rick Riordan. He's just amazing. We love Uncle Rick. We love him like a lot. His dedication and his love for this books and these series and the publishing company. Honestly, we love Uncle Rick, we love Mans, and we love Percy Jackson, and we love Heroes. They go along so well. Like at the moment I decided to do this video, I just knew that Heroes had to be Percy Jackson. I could listen to that song all the time. I do listen to it all the time. So the second song is a song that I always thought was my favourite, but it's not bad. I still, honestly, it's like god tier, and it's like cultural reset. And I feel like if you're a Eurovision fan, you obviously know the song, but I feel like you know where you were. You know the experience you had when you first saw this performance. Euphoria by Lina, 2012, Sweden again. A cultural reset. Please just watch all these performances like go onto YouTube and search on all these performances, because their performances at the Grand Live Final were just everything, and Lina's was just so simple but her vocals are so raw and she's just amazing. This song is about love. It is about a love between two people being the greatest thing ever and being the most powerful thing ever, and it's also about the love between humans in general and the love that we can bring to the earth. I also focus in on one of my favourite lyrics of that song, which is an everlasting piece of art. This wouldn't be a Charlotte video if we didn't talk about Heartstopper. I feel like this book and this series is an everlasting piece of art. It might be a simple everlasting piece of art, but I feel like a load of us love this so much and it's just so beautiful and so important and we just love it so much, and it's about the love between two people being the most important thing ever, and about love in general just being the most important thing ever. It's a basic and generic and very obvious answer for this. The stuff that Lina is singing about, and a bit about, again, love being the most amazing thing. I just feel like this, forever till the end of time, we'll love it, and this love is just, it's just so beautiful, and we love Heartstopper, and we love Lina, and we love Euphoria. Honestly, Euphoria is just a cultural reset. So the next song I feel like is underrated, and I don't feel like I know many people who talk about this song, but this was just a personal favourite of mine from 2017, and it was the runner-up. So that is Beautiful Mess by Christian Kostov, and at the time in 2017 he was like one of the youngest Eurovision performers, or he was, I think, and he's just so precious and I love him. So he represented Bulgaria in 2017 and he came runner-up, and I remember like rooting for him and like I want him to win, and then he didn't, and I was so sad that he came, like, obviously I was happy that he came runner-up out of like all the countries, but Salvador, who did win for Portugal in 2017, like deservedly won. And obviously that song is pretty like self-explanatory from the lyrics. It's about this love between two people and this relationship being just the best thing, you know. It's a beautiful mess, been up against the wall, our love is untouchable. So I wanted to go for a relationship that we all know is untouchable and is unstoppable and is just the most purest and most greatest relationship ever, and that is Malik. I just love Malik. I've loved them for so long now and they're just so precious, and I think their love is just so beautiful, and they've gone through so much together, they've gone through so many ups and downs, but in the end they've stuck with each other and are just beautiful and are just end game and are just it. I don't think I have much else to say on them because we know Magnus and we know Alec and we know Malik, and it's just so beautiful. So the next song I feel like everybody knows and is one of the most iconic songs to come out of Eurovision of late. So that was Rise Like a Phoenix by Conchita Wurst. Conchita Wurst won for Austria in 2014 and just did stuff, like did stuff for Eurovision. I think this song and this performance and this moment really did something for Eurovision and just for the queer community. This song is just amazing, and I think the lyrics are great, and it's about how someone's hate for you, and I think especially for the queer community, it's someone who can hate on you, but you take that hate and you rise, like I said, rise like a phoenix, and you just become the person that you want to be and you should be, and you become the best version of yourself. You don't care what they say, but you take that hatred and you turn it in and you turn it into something beautiful. And I think the first verse is really beautiful in the sense of it's talking about them looking in the mirror and not seeing what they want to see, but then transforming that and becoming who they want to be. So the book I'm going to be talking about is one I haven't read, but one I'm being so interested in recently, and I need it and I want it, and that is Felix Ever After. This book is about Felix, and he is trans, he's queer, and he's black, and so he's got a lot of like minority identities swimming around him, and he just feels a bit lost and a bit kind of trying to grapple with his identities, and he's just feeling like he doesn't fit in, but he wants to fall in love just like any human being. And then one day when he starts receiving transphobic messages from students and someone starts sharing his dead name around on the internet, he decides to take that and kind of take revenge, and in the process he might fall in love. So I feel like this book is just so perfect for this song because, as I said, the song is about taking someone's hate for you and becoming who you truly are, and taking it and just transforming into this amazing person that you truly are. And I think that's what kind of Felix ever after, even though I haven't read it and I really want to. I feel like that's what that book is about, because it's about Felix taking all this hatred, and despite receiving all this hatred from fellow students, obviously takes revenge, but he also at the time discovers himself and falls in love. And I just feel like just sounds like the most beautiful book. So I will hopefully try and get on that game as soon as possible. And if you haven't seen Conchita's performance, I recommend it because it is beautiful. I might actually link all the performances down in the description below so you don't have to go and search for them, because they're all amazing. So the next song I'm very excited to bop to. So that is Think About Things by
Daði Freyr.
They're Icelandic, or he's Icelandic. And this was their 2020 submission, or, you know, performance. And obviously it didn't happen this year because of coronavirus, but they still obviously had all their songs prepared. So that in a sense they did kind of like a virtual one where you just kind of got to see all like 40 of the semi-finalists, their songs, just, you know, to honour what they've worked hard on. I just know that this one would have won, and I think a lot of us know that this one would have won. It's just brilliant and it's just amazing, and I'm so sad that it didn't get to get its like shining light. This performance and even the music video is just brilliant, and I just love it so goddamn much. It's such a bop. It's all I've been bopping to recently. So I thought I'd go for a book that I love with my whole heart and like will always go back to, and it's a very like makes me feel good book, but I just feel like it didn't get a shining light. And this book specifically, I don't think it got a shining light on BookTube. In the outer world, I think it did, but on BookTube, y'all have been sleeping on it. Like, I know some of you have read it, and I think a lot of UK people have read it, but I'm still waiting on the rest of you to read it, and that is This Is Going to Hurt by Adam Kay. How many times? How many times is Charlotte going to talk about this book? She's going to talk about it like till the ends of her days. This book, if you don't know, if you're new here, is about Adam Kay. It's a non-fiction, and it's just him in diary format when he used to be a doctor, writing about his days and just being like, this is what it's like to be an NHS doctor. And it's just so great, and I love it, and it's funny, but it's also hard-hitting, but it's just pure gold. I feel like I haven't seen a lot of people on BookTube talk about it or read it, and you need to. It is a bop in its own sense. Y'all have slept on it. Y'all need to stop sleeping on it. Just like Think About Things should have got its shining moment on the Eurovision grand final stage and should have got a shining moment when it won, but coronavirus got in the way. I will sleep better if you read it. That's guilt tripping or blackmail, I don't know. And the next song is So this song is Arcade, and it won in 2019 for the Netherlands, and it's by Duncan Lawrence. And this song is about, it's about self-explanatory from the lyrics, but it's about a relationship, this guy in a relationship being like, I knew kind of quite early on, you know, this is a losing game. Like, loving you is a losing game. This relationship's messy, but I've kept going because I just love you so much. So for this, I'm going for Opposite of Always by Justin A. Reynolds. This book I feel like is a lot more positive and is not as like depressing as Arcade. But in the same sense, this book is about our main character Jack, who meets Kate at a party and they fall in love and they have some great times. But then Kate dies. But then he goes back in time and is able to try and save Kate, and he gets to go back in time again and again until he can save Kate from dying. From the first time, or kind of first couple of times that he knows that he's been able to go back in time to save Kate, he knows that like loving her is possibly a losing game because he's loving her but then he's losing her. It's emotional, it's great, it's beautiful, I love it. But I feel like this one's a little bit more positive than Arcade. But they're both kind of got that whole thing of like, I'm loving you, but I just feel like this is a losing game. I just love this book, and Arcade, honestly, I will sing and love that song to my end of my days. Like all of these songs, obviously that's why they're on this list, why they're my favourite songs. I just love that song, the vocals are so good, and it's just so powerful and so beautiful. Excuse me if my hair's going a bit frizzy, it's probably just like the heat, and I'm just like moving it around everywhere, but I've got 2 more to go, so hopefully we'll get this done quickly. But the next song, this has an interesting story that I will be talking about after that I've played the song. So that is Soldi by Mahmood, and that came runner-up for Italy in 2019. And I remember like the first time I heard the song I was like, okay, it's not nothing special, and I was a bit surprised that it came, I think either came runner-up or third. but I was surprised either way. But then as I kind of like started to listen to it, I was like, this is a certified bop. And I always thought when I was watching the performance that Mahmood looks really either angry or sad, and I'm like, honey, what's going on in there? And it wasn't until I was preparing for this video and planning it, and I decided to look into the lyrics of these songs to kind of get a better representation of what I could do for the books. This song is not what I thought it's about. I saw like the translated title because it's obviously in Italian. Soldi means money. So I thought, oh, okay, it's about, you know, one of those casual pop songs that's all about money, money, money. If you're Italian, you probably like listen to the lyrics going, oh yeah, and I know what it's about. This song is about a kid, or I take it would say it's Mahmood, him going on about his absent toxic father who only cares about money, only comes around and asks him to what he's doing when his father wants money, and has kind of ruined his relationship with his son and with his wife. That was not what I expected, but it's made me really value this song a lot more, that it's not just like a boppy money song, it has got deep messages behind it. And I also think when I was looking up that some of the lyrics is in Arabic. It's such a bop, but then it's got a great message behind it. So I wanted to go for a book that maybe has an absent kind of toxic money hungry father or parent or whatever, and it took me a while. I had to do some like scrolling and some researching, but I eventually found something, I eventually remembered something, and that is A Curse of Dark and Lonely by Bridget Kemmerer. This is obviously a YA Beauty and the Beast retelling, so you're probably thinking, what? But our main character Harper, who's from our world, she is currently kind of living on the streets with her brother because their father has left them in a lot of debt. And obviously that kind of gives a connotation, so he only cares about money. So they have to obviously survive off this debt and repay this debt to these kind of people, these bad people. But also they need money to care for their sick mother who's got cancer. It's got that thing of like they've left a strained relationship with their father. So I feel like it's a weird kind of recommendation because you're thinking Curse of Dark and Lonely, Beauty and the Beast retelling, like what? But also, as I said, it does have those connotations and those kind of connections with like the absent father and with Harper and Jake, I think a brother's name is, their kind of absent, bad, toxic, money hungry father. Credits to Mahmood for an amazing song that it's not just a bop but has a great message behind it. We are on to the last song, and this one, Precious Bean. So that is Fairy Tale by Alexander Rybak, and that won in 2009 for Norway, and he's just such a precious being. Alexander, I love you. He's just so known within the kind of Eurovision community because he had his little violin and he was going for it, and he's so cute, and he came back in 2018 to represent Norway again with his little violin. In this song, it's about a guy who's kind of like, I've known and loved this girl for so long, I'm kind of in love with the fairy tale and it kind of hurts to love her, but I don't care, like I love her and that's all that matters and we're perfect. For that one, I'm going to go with A Study in Charlotte by Brittany Cavallaro. I'm obviously doing it from Jamie's perspective and he's just so precious. We love Jamie, we stan Jamie just as much as we stan Alexander. Even though it's not explicitly said, we basically see Jamie falling in love with Charlotte. It's just so precious, it's just so beautiful. Excuse my hair, honestly, I'm so hot at the moment. And he does know and he does notice throughout that falling in love with her, and if they were together it would be hurtful because Charlotte is, you know, she's not the most perfect person, but he almost doesn't care because he does just love her. And I was thinking last night when I was like lying in bed ready to fall asleep, that also had the connection with the violin. Alexander's off there playing his violin. What does Charlotte play? Violin. I love Jamie, I love Charlotte, and I love them two together. I think they're going to be great together if they do end up being together throughout the rest of the series, which I haven't read. Just like Alexander, Jamie is a precious being and we stan. So that is it for this video. I hope you enjoyed. I have a lot of fun, even though my hair started getting messier and frizzier. If you love Eurovision, please let me know. I need to know my Eurovision buddies. Let me know what some of your favourite Eurovision songs are. Obviously I have so many other favourites, but I just kind of whittled them down to about 8. If you want me to do another Eurovision songs as books video, let me know because I will. I'm gonna wrap this up because I'm very, very hot. I don't think I have much else to say. Once again, I hope you enjoyed this video. I had a lot of fun, even though I'm like dying. I'm gonna go listen to these songs over and over, as I usually do. If you're new around here, do not forget to subscribe, like, comment, all that stuff. Turn my notification bell on so you know when I'm gonna post. And with that all said and done, go and listen to Eurovision. All those videos will be linked in the description below. I love Eurovision, as you know, and I will see you all in my next video.